What's poppin' with it, YouTube? We back again with another episode here. This is Payday Boxing, and we here to talk that shit, man. I'm finna go ahead and take y'all to church here in a minute, but before I do that, gotta remind everybody, go ahead and tap that like button one time. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This is a brand new boxing channel, man. We just getting off the ground, getting up and running here in this boxing game here, man. So let's go ahead and get this thing started here. Now, today we want to go ahead and talk about one of my personal favorite fighters here, David Benavidez, making his return to the ring here. Coming up, when is this fight scheduled here? Scheduled March the 16th. I believe that's the same day as who was this fighting that day? That might be the same day of the Errol Spence Mikey Garcia fight, if I'm not mistaken. But March the 16th is the scheduled fight date here. My man David Benavidez, he's scheduled to take on Leon Love, if you guys can remember him from Mayweather Promotions. So before we go ahead and talk about the fight, I'll go ahead and give you the statistics here. David Benavidez, if you guys don't know, I believe he is still the youngest reigning major champion in boxing today. He's 22 years old. He's currently sitting at 20-0 with 17 knockouts. He's just come off of two wins versus Ronald Gavril, who he won the super middleweight championship belt against. The first fight went to a controversial split decision. They went ahead and ran the rematch, and David Benavidez took care of business in the rematch here. Basically, it was a unanimous decision on the second fight, and well, now he's the current WBC super middleweight champion here. Leon Love, as we all know, formerly with the Mayweather Promotions banner, his last fight was against Peter Quillin. That was back on August the 4th. He did end up losing that fight via unanimous decision. That was probably the best fighter that he's been in there with, really ever, in his career. And we all know Peter Quillin is probably on the latter half of his career. He's probably getting ready to hang him up here anytime soon. He's not going to have too many more major fights, I should say. Let's go with that. So, getting into David Benavidez and Leon Love. Now, I'm definitely going to have to go with David Benavidez in this fight. David Benavidez is one of my favorite fighters. You know, not only is it because he's from my hometown, which is Phoenix, Arizona. You know, another Zona boy in the building, representing on all these guys, you know what I'm saying, in the boxing game. But you know what, he's got a lot of skills too. You know, aside from, you know, the obvious reasons, David Benavidez is actually a very skilled fighter. Everybody's familiar with his brother, Jose Benavidez, who just recently came off the unanimous decision loss to Terrence Crawford. David Benavidez is pretty much cut from the same cloth. He's a big dude. Boxing Rec lists him at 6'1.5". We'll round that up and let's say he's 6'2". He's a big kid, real big kid. Probably I could even see him even growing into cruiserweight someday. He will definitely fight at light heavyweight at some point in his career. He's got the frame to even end up as a cruiserweight, and who knows, if he wants to be great, maybe he even goes all the way up to heavyweight if he sees the opportunity there. But he's currently 22 years old, and like I mentioned before, he is undefeated, man, and he's just got a lot of good skills, man. He fights tall, he fights rangy, he's got a good jab, he throws good combinations, and he's got pretty good power for a super middleweight. You know, that's another reason why I could see him moving up. Leon Love, he on the other hand, he might be turning into somewhat of a journeyman, so to say. He doesn't have the most impressive resume, Leon Love. He hasn't really fought anybody of note outside of Peter Quillin. He's never looked spectacular in any of his fights. He's looked like a solid, decent fighter, but he's never really looked spectacular in any of his fights, at least from what I can recall. Never shown any world-beating skills or anything that just, you know, really stands out or jumps out at you. So I'm really looking forward to the fight, man. David Benavidez, he's a great up-and-coming fighter. If you haven't seen him fight before, and if for whatever reason you're not watching Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia on that evening, definitely check David Benavidez out, man. Like I said, he's got a whole lot of skills, man. He's a really, really skilled fighter. He's a guy who, if he continues at the current pace that he's at, he could end up on the pound-for-pound list at some point in time, you know, as long as he doesn't end up running into somebody that could beat him. As we all know, Canelo Alvarez will not be fighting David Benavidez ever. You know, he's gone ahead and said that he will not fight any more Mexican fighters. We'll have another video about that eventually at some point. But that's what it's looking like. I do think David Benavidez is one of the best super middleweights out there in the world. Look forward to him looking to unify here into the near future. Probably sometime this year he might go into a unification bout. So make sure you guys tune in, check out David Benavidez. If you're not watching Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia, this is Payday Boxing. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.